Now improve your English by answering an interesting question. If you want to get stronger, it's important to practice.
Hi, I'm Eric. These speaking practice videos are just a series of short presentations made to help anyone who's going to take the TOEFL English test in the future. But really, I think they might be useful for any English learner who just wants to get better. If you're learning English and you need some practice, this might be good for you. Once again, the question asks us to consider university life. But the previous questions only asked us to consider two options: agree or disagree. Do you prefer A or B? In this question, we have to consider three options. When you look at it, it might seem a little complicated, but actually it's not that different from the previous types of questions. In recent years, this hasn't been on the TOEFL, but I think it's great to consider every option and be ready for anything. Who knows? I'm going to show you what to do so you don't have to worry either way. If you're ready, let's take a look.
Speaking practice number 7. Today's question. You'll need to complete an assignment, which will be a kind of presentation. Which one will you choose? 1. Act out a scene from a play with a partner. 2. Explain your review of a novel you've recently read. Or 3. Read a selection of a poem. This question has many parts, and depending on your background, it may be hard to imagine what each choice means. The first choice, act out a scene from a play with a partner, is basically an acting performance in front of your classmates. And since you'll need to do it with a partner, it includes teamwork. The next one, explaining a review of a novel you've recently read, means you'll have to read a novel you've never read before. Then you have to write a summary, analyze the story, and make a presentation. The last one seems the simplest. It's just reading a selection of a poem. That is, a part of a poem, not a complete poem. If this question is on the TOEFL, it's an independent speaking question. You have to explain which option you'd choose, and you'll have only 15 seconds to prepare your answer. Then, the main task is to speak for 45 seconds without stopping, saying as much as possible in that time. Want to try? Now you can take a little time to think about what you would like to say. Then, when you're ready, let's take a look at the model answer. Example answer. To complete this assignment, I would choose to explain a novel that I've recently read. I enjoy reading, so for me, this is a natural choice. I'm not very good at acting or performing, and I don't think poetry is appealing to most people. But I think that to explain a novel, I would need to use critical thinking and organize my ideas logically. I think I'm good at these things. And since reading is something I really love, I'd like to show my classmates the charms of literature and encourage them to read more. Actually, I once read a mystery novel about two brothers who solved crimes. When I told my friends about it, a few of them enjoyed it too, and now they often ask me what I recommend.
All right, so what did you think about today's question and model answer? Like I said before, when there are three options, it's a little dangerous because many students spend too much time trying to read the whole question as carefully as possible, or they think about every option. It's the same as the previous questions. Just choose one point and talk about that as much as possible. Don't think too much. Don't waste your time. And even though the question is a little different from the previous types, I still follow a similar pattern each time I practice. Especially when you're developing your skills and abilities, it's a good idea to practice the same way each time. Anyway, in the next part of the presentation today, there's some good advice coming. So, let's take a look.
Speaking pattern. As always, to speak with confidence when telling others your great ideas, like this guy, you have to know how to organize what you want to say. Here's a simple pattern. First, you should clearly express which option you would choose. Then give a reason. Anything is okay if it's related to the main idea. Quickly talk about why you would not choose the other options. And finally, keep talking while giving more reasons and examples. One more time, here's the model answer. We make an introduction by clearly saying which option we would choose. And then we explain a little bit by giving a reason. Next, I usually try to mention why I wouldn't choose the other options. Something quick and simple. This is not the main part of your speech. After that, I just keep talking while trying to give details and realistic examples. The first half of the speech shows good topic development. From the beginning, the listener will understand exactly what your main idea is. And the second half shows your fluency, your ability to talk naturally. A clear beginning. Make a good introduction. Making a good introduction is very important. But when you see a long and complicated question, like in today's example, it can cause you to feel a little confused. What's the best way to get started? One of the most important things to do when answering these questions is to make a complete and clear introduction. Start by looking at the most important parts of the question and follow them in order, saying them again in your answer. Okay, today the question started by saying, you will need to complete an assignment. So, I started my answer by saying, to complete this assignment. Then the main question was, which one will you choose? So in my answer I said, I would choose. Then in the next part, we see three choices. And as you know, I chose the second one, which says, explain your review of a novel you've recently read. In my answer, I changed the subject saying, to explain my review of a novel I've recently read. Putting it all together, we get the perfect introduction. To complete this assignment, I would choose to explain a novel that I've recently read. Key words. Choose which kind of presentation you would like to make. The first word is critical thinking. Critical thinking is used in education a lot, but it may be a little hard to understand. Critical thinking is a way of thinking that is rational and led by evidence. It means you look at everything and try to find reasons by researching and comparing examples with other people. Critical thinking is open-minded research and analysis. This is why it's so important in education. Logic. Logic is a systematic way of reasoning, reaching a conclusion based on a set of propositions. As you can see, it's closely related to critical thinking, which is why I mentioned them together in my speech. These words might seem a little hard, but don't hesitate to use them in your own speeches. They are very important. The last word is encourage. Maybe this is an easy word. It means to give someone courage, to push someone in the direction of doing something. I put this word on my list because I want to encourage you to keep practicing. Come on, you can do it. Next question. Speaking of not giving up, here's the next question. If you're going to choose a roommate, which of the following qualities is the most important to you? Cleanliness, friendliness, or quietness? Compared to today's question, I think this one seems a little easier. Go ahead and try it on your own. And after you've done that, you can check out the next video. I know you can do it.
That's the end of today's lesson. Thank you for watching. Was this information helpful? I hope so. We have many more videos coming, and a lot of the questions are really interesting, so I hope you join me. Also, I know that a lot of the people who watch these videos have different ideas about how to answer these questions. Please leave a comment below. I'm sure it will start an interesting conversation, and it will be helpful to the other learners. Please push the like button and subscribe to my channel if you thought it was helpful or interesting. I hope you did. I'll see you next time. Thank you.